Good morning and welcome to Talking Bull. It's Steve and Jamie here this morning, and it's Tuesday Chatter. That's what I've named the title of this episode. How you doing,
I
Jamie?
like it. Yeah, not bad, thanks, Steve. I feel like I think we said this last week, but the year seems to be flying by almost in July now. It's
Yeah, I know,
really starting
scary.
to motor along, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, coming up for holidays, so looking forward to that. The summer. It's been a few years since I've stepped on a plane, so I'm doing that next week. That'll be a bit weird.
Of course. Yeah, exciting. That'll be nice.
Mm. Um, So let's take a look at the market headlines first, and then we can dive into the technicals. As you know, those watching live can ask for us to look at certain markets that we may not have covered, or dive down into a bit more detail on the technical side of things. And yeah, let's get to it. So news headlines overnight or from yesterday: US durable goods orders increased 0.7% for May after a revised 0.4% increase the previous month and above consensus forecast of a 0.1 increase. So that was better than expected. Underlying orders also increased 0.7 on the month, and that was above expectations of a 0.3 increase. The latest consumer confidence data is likely to have a more significant impact today. Peak Fed expectations edge lower again. Overall confidence in the US outlook remained more fragile, with markets fretting over the recession risks, especially with concerns over higher inventories. Markets also moved to lower the expected peak in Federal Reserve interest rates to around about 3.5% from 4% earlier in the month. The dollar overall edged lower again on Monday as the dip in Fed expectation limited support for the US currency. The dollar dipped to a 10-day low before regaining some ground. There will be an element of month-end position adjustment during Tuesday, today, with the potential for some corporate dollar buying. So be aware of that. The ECB monetary conference will start in earnest on Tuesday today, with comments watched closely during the day, especially with the global central bank reps also making comments. Markets are very confident that the ECB will increase rates at the July and September meetings, and the euro also gained an element of support from expectations that the deposit rate will move out of negative territory in September. Swiss sight deposits declined in the latest week, previously 751 billion Swiss francs. This week, 748, the largest decline for close to 10 years. This significant decline suggests that the National Bank did not intervene to curb franc gains following the decision to raise interest rates at the latest monetary policy meeting. So that's the headlines. Let's dive into the charts. I'm going to kick off with Bitcoin, our favorite. Bitcoin, just a quick recap, weekly chart. We've bounced off support at 17,600. And last week we had a really quiet week. Overall, didn't move anywhere. Looks pretty ominous in my eyes for Bitcoin. I think we're going to go to zero, Jamie. I don't know. I don't want to sort of like get everyone fretting out there, obviously, but this looks like a pile of toilet for
It
me,
doesn't look good,
and
does
it
it? No.
doesn't. I can't see anything that's going to resurrect this. We might get the odd technical bounce here and there, but at the moment, bearish engulfing from what is that, Saturday? No, that's Sunday. Follow through negative price action yesterday, and nothing really going on today. I think this might be my gun to head challenge already. I've spotted it.
Nice.
So looking on the short-term charts, we were hoping, or some people were hoping, for this inverse head and shoulders formation to play out, and it hasn't. It tried to break this neckline. I put a level in there at 21,700. It moved above it, but didn't close above it, and now it's under pressure again. And looking to retest the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, a little bit of support below, but I think now more risk to the downside. 19,760, the bottom of the right shoulder. That's the next level to watch on the downside. So we'll wait and see how that plays out over the next day or so. Gold had a pullback lower yesterday, we're still in this corrective channel, although we are posting, obviously we can see these lower highs on the 4-hour chart. So further bearish price action in gold. We're below the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, and really sort of looking to retest the 1817 level. That's the price we got to a couple of days ago, and this was Friday actually, and then below there we got support 1805. This, if we draw this bearish channel out, we can see there's a potential for some support coming in right now around about 1813. Crude oil has bounced from the 101 level quite aggressively over the last few days, and also took out, or we're moving into the Ichimoku cloud resistance. The next real level to watch is the resistance are just above 110, 110.78 on this chart, looking like it's striding quite aggressively towards there. However, overall, we still got a bit of a way to go before we start to think about the multi-year highs. We've got resistance coming in the shape of the 21-day moving average that comes in at 113.14, and as I say, it needs to really get above that 110.70 level before we get really excited about the potential for this bounce. So yeah, still not sure whether it's got enough momentum at the moment. However, weekly chart, we are engulfing last week's previous body, so watch out for that. Diving into Forex, we'll look at the euro dollar. Bit of a potential for a double bottom formation, but the momentum seems to be slowing as we move higher. Resistance coming in around current levels, just above the 106 level, 106.15 now. Above that, more serious resistance coming in at 107.87. Potential for a double bottom, still has a lot of work to do. So really not considering that too much just yet. There's a little bit of an upward trending line we've got coming in, multiple touch points on the 4-hour chart, an ascending triangle, and really looking, it really needs to sort of, like, as I say, break above this 106.15 level to recapture the positive theme. However, yeah, a break below even the sort of like 105 area would put this back on the back foot. And remember that the main trend is lower. My gun to head trade from yesterday, not successful on this. We'll run through it in a short while. Looking for a bounce in sterling dollar. More of dollar weakness I was looking for. Didn't really play through on this pair, and we've formed quite nice resistance now at 123.30. Support below comes in the shape of 122.40. Below that, 121.60. And really almost like a bit of a triangle formation. So we're pretty mid-range, really looking for some trend from the dollar to get us excited. Not really seeing that. This is what the dollar index looks like. This is predominantly euro dollar, and this is slightly bearish on the short-term chart, on the 4-hour chart. Just bounced off 103.70. So looking for this maybe dollar weakness to continue. So buying euro dollar, buying sterling dollar, and selling dollar yen, maybe the play to be focusing on in the short term anyway. Dollar yen seems to be bucking that trend though, and has bounced quite nicely just in front of the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. Next resistance on there is the multi-year highs coming in at 136.70. That's only 100 points away. Taking a look at indices before I hand over to Jamie. Let's take a look at the S&Ps. Nice strong move from Friday. A little bit disappointing yesterday overall. If we look at the daily chart, we can see that we are challenging the 21-day moving average. We've got a little doji candle, almost like a gravestone doji or a shooting star type candle, and a little bit of a hanging man candle posting this morning. So really needs to push and close above this 21-day moving average to bring any positivity back to the S&Ps. Otherwise, it may be a long day. We can see we had a bit of a inverse head and shoulders formation, which is probably not too far away from where the measured move target is. So really need to see this market push above 3,945 to get us all excited, but a break below 3,882 would put us on the back foot. NASDAQ, similar sort of formation, inverse head and shoulders, probably played out, got to really a decent level and then formed a evening doji star on the 4-hour chart. So that's negative. However, the last few hours we've seen a little bit of a pickup in price action, so looking slightly positive on that side of things. Same with the DAX. Over the last sort of 4-8 hours, we've seen price action pick up, but again, we've posted a lower high yesterday in the 4-hour chart. This strong downward trending resistance in the shape of the cloud coming in. Need to get captured ground above 13,375. Until then, I'll be selling into rallies on that. The one maybe bright spark, I suppose, is the FTSE. It's managed to capture resistance that is, or broken resistance that we saw from the 16th of June, where we topped out at 7,332, trading just a couple of points above there now. So this double bottom formation has a measured move target up near the 7,400. So a real strong momentum move we're seeing at the moment, pushing towards there. Looks really interesting, the FTSE, for a change. I think that's me, Jamie. I think I can hand over to you and you can take us through the stocks.
Nice one. Thanks, Steve. I thought I'd start off something a bit different today, and I wanted to get your take on it. This is a little chart I found that compares the trading or the returns you get trading S&P through regular trading hours to compared to outside trading hours and the moves that it makes. And this is only a chart from 93 to 2018, and I think the actual bigger picture is even more pronounced, but this just shows to me how I just thought it was quite an interesting look. If you look at how regular hours have traded since 93 to 2018, it's pretty much flat. But the overnight trading and outside the regular hours is actually up multiple 100%. And I think the article I read on this, it was on I think it was CNN. It said it's even more pronounced since COVID happened, which I guess makes sense because a lot of that happened. The recovery happened overnight. I just thought it was quite an interesting chart. Shows it's such a disparity between the returns you get outside regular trading hours. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, I suppose one of the main things about this, Jamie, is obviously you get the overnight moves, but predominantly the weekend moves. So if you think about it, the markets were shut on a Friday, and it's always a little bit more risk to hold positions over the weekend and overnight,
Sure.
as we all know, in case something happens that affects the market. And you can see that, so that's basically posted a positive return outside of those trading hours, or is it just showing you the movement? Is it like
well, it says here, I'll read it out. It says cumulative returns
returns?
since
Yeah.
inception of SPY. Yeah,
Yeah, so
so
positive. It looks pretty positive. Yeah, I would say that's more of a weekend moves
yeah,
when the markets have sort of like rebounded aggressively, and it has been pretty much a one-way trend to the upside. But
yeah.
yeah, regular hours.
It's not doing much, is it?
What's the point?
Yeah.
Let's wait. Let's wait. Let's just like buy it after the market shuts,
Yeah, well
or just
that's
before the market shuts.
yeah, that's how it looks. It's I just thought it was really interesting because it is so different. It's not even close. So
Yeah,
just thought it was worth
nice one.
pulling up.
Like that.
Before I jumped into biggest gainer and loser, and we'll move on with that now. Our biggest loser of the day is this ANGH. And I should also say, biggest loser isn't necessarily just the one that had the largest percentage move down. I like to try and find the slightly bigger names as well, so it's of some interest. Not that I've ever heard of this. I'm not speaking to you, Alexa. Stop. So this is Anghami, down 21.72%. Doesn't look like we've got any information on this here, but seems to have broken out below this technical support we have here. It's not perfect, but it's a pretty clear break of that support. If we check the volume, as I'd assume, where's the volume? It's deciding not to load, but with a lot of these big percentage moves, it also comes with that heavier volume too. So there it is. You can see it's heavier than the average, although there were some bigger moves back here. Our biggest gainer of the day, similar, you can look at the volume there, is this AXSM up 51%. What news do we have here? Let's see if we can. Oh, it's therapeutics. That's good. Axum Therapeutics said in regulatory filing on Monday that it has received proposed labeling from the FDA for its AXS05 product candidate in connection. I have no idea what that means, but I'm sure to someone that will make sense, but not me.
Well, it's to treat major depressive disorder. So I think that sort of the whole world could do with a little bit of that, Jamie.
Yeah, maybe that's
Because
why the
you look
shares gone up.
outside the windows, it's like it's not a nice picture.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well in this nice summer weather. If you think it's a bit sad and down during the summer, what's it
Mm.
going to be like in the winter? But I tell you what, I'm having a great time. It's nice and sunny today, so I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling excellent as we jump into the stock heat map, which is actually kind of bringing my mood down. There's nothing really going on here, Steve, today. Um, Now it's ruined everything. The only sector that's kind of done quite well is energy. Yesterday, you can see there's a lot of green in there. Utilities did okay. Health services. I guess the main standout on the downside would be Amazon, almost down 3%. But other than that, it was a bit of a nothing day. So this could be quite a quick stock roundup, but let's see what we can find. What did I want to look at? AMC did have a nice move though yesterday. We actually put out an idea for this at support, but it's already gone on hit target, so I can get rid of that now. But it was up 13.31%. The volume's looking quite good. It started to pick up on AMC, so maybe we're having a bit of a recovery. Um, to me, we're still at pretty key resistance though. You can see this candle just here on the 31st of May we gapped through it, and we came back down pretty quickly, so it was a bit of a false breakout. So to me, this is still the key level, this 1420 area which we closed. So if we get another follow through today, and let's say we kind of close around 15, we have some nice volume, that would be more of a significant breakout for me. You can also see the trend of higher lows coming in as well. So perhaps a bit of a turnaround for AMC in at least the short term. And I think if we do get through that range, we could possibly be looking up to these previous resistance levels here. Let me move on to the screen. Um, So yeah, a nice day for AMC. Amazon was one of our biggest losers, as we said. It was down 2.78%. We got this gap through. This was actually another idea we put out, and this is quite a nice little scalp at this support level. Just went on to hit target. We targeted that gap fill, and now it's starting to sell off. So that was quite a nice little bounce we saw there on Amazon. What's this pattern? Is this a dark cloud cover, Steve? Am I digging into
Yeah, that's
my?
it. Yeah.
That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, so this is quite a negative looking. Uh, Certainly, I'd expect a bit more of a follow through on a reversal side here, heading downwards for at least a bit. A pretty bearish looking candle, um, but we'll see. Not huge volume, so I guess that's the only thing that the bulls can still be a bit positive on. And we are due a bit of a slight pullback from the upside. We have had a series of positive days, so we will see how Amazon gets on today. Coinbase, we seem to check in on quite a lot because we're always having these high percentage moves. It was down 10% yesterday, gapped down and closed near the low. We'll get this out of the way. This is again an idea we put out. Um, yeah, not too much more to say. I mean, I feel like I say that every time we look at this, but we've got some Fibonacci's. If we take kind of, let's see where we're at here. We'll chuck on a few, kind of oscillating around that 50%. We did just about get a gap fill there, so that might have been quite a nice area to get short if anyone spotted that. Yeah, not too much to say. I still think with the weakness we're expecting in some of these cryptos that there could be a move lower for Coinbase. Seems like a long time ago. I remember actually, I'll tell you what, I'll zoom out. Um, Looking at it after its IPO, we had this quite nice pattern we saw here, a resistance and a break of, and it feels like a long time ago we were trading at $284 all the way up to 360 even. Now all the way down to 55. So things can turn very quickly, and it's important to make sure you've got good risk management when you're trading stocks or trading anything actually. Um, what have we got here? Costco, we've been talking about this resistance. We ran into it yesterday and the sellers were found. Not a horrible day. We didn't get an engulfing candle or anything like that, but the sellers were there as we expected, so we'll see if they can follow through a bit today. GME, we expected a bit of a bigger move, and on Friday, actually, I missed this when we looked at it yesterday. We had this really big outside, bearish outside candle, which
Oh,
actually,
doesn't look
if
clever, does it?
look at that, it's covering the three prior days trading range.
Yeah, and that
We
also
were,
looks a bit like head and shoulder like as well. That sort of formation, left shoulder,
yeah,
and that's forming the right shoulder. So yeah, could be all the
yeah,
way back down.
from
Scaring me
thinking
now.
this.
I'm looking at the indices, thinking, doesn't look so good anymore.
Yeah, I mean this is looking pretty bad. I think at least we're getting a move back down to this 114 support and a break of there. I think we could be heading back to this $80 support, which we have marked on here. Um, but the volume started to pick up on Friday. It was a little bit higher than, well, actually, it's kind of average volume yesterday, but um, certainly in terms of candlestick formations, this is a very bearish looking candle. And we'll see if we get any follow through from yesterday's trading in today. Well, I want to look at Google. Google ran into resistance. I think we noted that, or maybe we didn't. And the sellers were found. Again, nothing too crazy, but the sellers did win yesterday. Robinhood had a nice day. Look at that, up 14% on really, really big volume. So was there some news out for Robinhood? I'm not sure. No talks required.
It's a
Basic.
volatility halt there, yeah, sort of 11 hours ago.
Where am I looking? Oh, here.
Yeah, yeah,
Resume trading after halt due to volatility on Monday. Right, okay. Um, yeah, you look at that. I mean, the volume's up, but this still looks horrible to me, doesn't it?
yeah. I mean, it's a prime market, which is like prime for a acquisition. The amount of
Yeah,
traders that sort of like use that market, any broker's going to be looking at it thinking, where's the value? So
sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, it is. Where did we IPO? The IPO price was 38, I think. We actually got all the way up to. I mean, some poor souls started buying it up at 85.
mm,
Um, not the best strategy. I was thinking this earlier. Actually, it seems like a really silly thing to say, but for every seller, there's got to be a buyer. Every buyer's got to be a seller. So someone always buys right at the top. I just think it must be awful. Like, imagine being the guy that bought Robinhood and
yeah, I'm
81
sort
goes.
of like I'm more of a cup half full, Jamie. I'll be saying, oh, imagine selling it at the top rather than
Yeah,
worrying about who's bought it.
that's a better way to look at it actually. So someone has done excellently there at the
Yeah.
expense of someone else. But that is trading. It's a zero sum game. So for every winner, there's a loser. Um, quickly checking on Novavax. We're trading in this. I'm not really sure. It's kind of a wedging down price now. So maybe we're going to get a bit of a turnaround on this. A lot of volume coming in here. So someone is interested in this on the institutional side. We're at this trend line resistance. We kind of closed above it. I mean, these are always a bit subjective. You could do that or do that. But to me, this looks like a little bit of a break. But I'm not convinced the volume isn't there right now. It feels a bit overextended to the upside. So potentially some selling coming through today on Novavax, I'd have thought. I think that's pretty much it. Um, unless there's anything that jumps out. I'll quickly scan through some of these EU stocks. I don't think. I mean, a lot of them just seem kind of in between places for me right now. Not a lot of key levels. Yeah, I mean, these are a load of nothing if you ask me. There's nothing really to look at here. We looked at this break on a Tullow the other day, retesting the underside of that trendline support, but not particularly exciting me. Oh, Vodafone's the only one. This is a bit of a cut with handle pattern, I thought, at resistance here. If we do get a nice close above this resistance on Vodafone, kind of, I'd say anything around 190, sorry, 129, um, that could be quite a bullish sign for me here. Um, I like this calling action. For me, when you do have, we've had a nice move up kind of through November into February. We've obviously retraced, there's been some selling, but now the sellers are really struggling to push this back down, and its price has been around this 128 level now since the end of May. So it's been here for an entire month pretty much, um, which suggests the buyers are trying to push it up. So we'll see if they can win and get it close above this resistance. And if that is the case, we could get a nice move all the way back up to these previous highs, 135-ish. I mean, there's a pretty good chunk of supply there. If we take it out to quickly take it out to a weekly chart. you can see that this area has been pretty important back in 2018, 2019, and earlier this year. So if we do get a breakthrough, that's where I'd next expect to see some sellers. But regardless, that would be quite a nice little move, 127 up to about 137. So we'll leave it there today. Bit of a mixed bag, nothing too much standing out, but yeah, we'll leave it there today.
Excellent. Thanks, Jamie. Right, next we've got the gun to head challenge. This is where we take a moment in this show to pick a trade live on air and provide a trade idea behind it with a money management strategy, entering at market with a stop and target. We look for at least a 2-to-1 risk reward. Trade ideas expire at either 9 p.m. UK time or when the stopper target is hit. And we monitor these, we publish them on our channel. So really, in a real world, we shouldn't really be doing too well on these, but our performance hasn't been too bad. This week hasn't, towards the end of last week and this week, we haven't had a great start. So we need to really sort of like pull something out the bag. So when you were running through the stocks and I was looking at indices, Jamie, I've just adjusted this to sort of get it right. So this is where I'm going to come in and I'm going to sell DAX at 13,278. Let me just move this to the right to just show you what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this shooting star candle. When we started the show, we were right up here pushing towards this previous lower high, and it failed, turned around, and looks pretty shocking now. So I'm basically selling at 13,278. Targeting a move to 12,858, and I've got a 120 point stop on it, 13,398, which would be above the swing high from the 27th. So that's yesterday. So yeah, that's my trade idea in the DAX Germany 40. I'll publish that now.
Good stuff, Steve. I'm feeling underprepared. I haven't got anything on completely ready, but I think I'm going to go a similar route to you. Looking at the indices, I'm actually looking at the Spanish 35. It's pretty much a similar idea. I think we've got this, what looks like a bit of a gravestone doji forming on the 1 hour chart. Obviously, we've still got half an hour of trading left, but this is at this previous resistance here. So I'm going to hope we kind of close around we have now and then have a move lower. So it feels like the same trade on a slightly different index, but so it's feels a little bit cheap. I don't love it doing the same thing, but we can get some pretty good risk reward here if we target these previous lows all the way down here, keeping the stop just above the previous swing high. So we'll have a crack at this today. So selling the Spanish 35, entry at current price, which is 8294. So I'll adjust that slightly. Keeping the profit level at 8053 and the stop, like I say, just above those highs at 8366, and that gives us a really nice 3.35 risk reward. So I don't know why I've done this actually looking back at it, because every time we both do something on indices, they always get stopped out. So I've cursed both of our trades in doing this. That's my fault. Ready for a -2R for tomorrow morning.
I'm sort of like the opposite way. I think we're going to absolutely smash it. You throw enough mud at the wall, some of it sticks. That's the old expression. You know, at the end of the day, it's having the right risk-reward strategy in place, and that is the key. Being disciplined with it. So yeah, I'm sort of like going for this. I'm going to publish this idea now.
Yeah, somewhere. Start doing that.
Can't go back on it now. Can't go back.
No, absolutely not. It's all done. It's all done.
Live on air. There you go.
Yeah, live on air. We keep it honest here. I remember actually we did this. Sorry, before we move on, we did this one time before where I think the three of us, I don't know if we correlated them or if we just had a really good day. It was relatively recently. We actually all, I think, had a similar type trade and they all hit target. So what you're saying is right. Although like, you know, it's all about the risk reward and having the right kind of setup in that sense, because when you do hit, you can hit really big, and it's about taking those small losses and having winners that are bigger than your losses. So we'll see how these get on. I'm feeling better about them now. They're going to both.
Yeah, that's it. Positivity.
That's let's go.
You might have been. Have you taken any of those drugs that we were just talking about that the sort of like make everyone feel better?
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
very invested in that
just
stock now. Goodness.
yeah, get the name of those, Jamie. Yeah, so yeah, I agree. Overall, you could sort of like short-term trade ideas are the most difficult ones. Obviously, when you're trading with a trend, it's easier, but the short-term trade ideas have a lot of noise. That there's a lot of the and one little news headline, one news bomb, one tweet from the wrong person or the right person could sort of like impact on the market volatility. So yeah, tricky old things. Anyway,
Yeah.
day ahead, we've got 3 o'clock. We've got the US consumer confidence. Watch out for that. That could have a decent impact on the markets. And the other key events to watch this week, we've got US PCE prices on the 30th and July the 1st on the Friday. We've got the US is a manufacturing index. And that is a wrap. Let's just check. Yeah. So listen, enjoy today. Good luck trading and be careful out there.
Yeah, completely agree. Have a good day, guys, and we'll catch you back tomorrow morning.
Cheers.
Bye.